Gordon Brown wanted people to be reading today about a future fair for all under Labour. Instead, they're left with more of an impression of a free-for-all in Downing Street, with the author Andrew Rawnsley giving colourful instances of the Prime Minister's impetuosity.
He's so enraged, he leaps across the room, grabs his Deputy Chief of Staff, Gavin Kelly, and snarls into his face, "They're out to get me." Now, that sort of behaviour, perhaps understandable in a very unpopular at that point Prime Minister, one feeling under siege, but very difficult for people working around him.
A far cry from the gentler image the Prime Minister's now trying to project, and flatly denied, along with all other allegations of bullying and intimidation by Downing Street. Nonetheless, while Mr Rawnsley sticks by his story, he says it's not all bad.
Fair to him, even some of the staff who've been on the receiving end of these volcanic furies, some of them think that's a price worth paying for working for a man whose other leadership qualities they admire.
Still, it's a portrait of a Prime Minister that those working closely with Mr Brown claim not to recognise. More, they say, a commercial enterprise. Gordon Brown himself admits that he gets impatient, very often with himself, because he's a driven man. And what his allies are really saying to the voters is, do you want a Prime Minister you get on with in the pub, or who gets on with the job? In fact, Mr Brown's chances of carrying on with that appear to be bolstered by today's YouGov poll in the Sunday Times, which puts Labour just 6 points behind the Tories and predicts a hung Parliament. Nonetheless, today's Observer allegations aren't thought by commentators to be especially helpful.
And of course, you know, Gordon Brown, if he does kick the furniture, will be kicking the furniture this morning, because here are the polls closing, and yet the papers and we're talking about aspects of his character that are supposed to be damaging.
Most agree, though, now that Gordon Brown is at least real. Attractive, the man for the job, that's down to the electorate. Peter Spencer, Sky News, Westminster.